Now joining me on the line. Hold on one second. Now my microphone is. Let me pause this. Hold on. Now joining me on the line is former world title contender, maybe future world title contender, Edward Vazquez, who takes on Daniel Bailey on May the 3rd in Houston, Texas, live on the Zone. Edward, how you doing tonight?
And I'm feeling great, man. Feel like I'm ready to go. This fight week is approaching, and we put in all the hard work for the past 7 weeks, and I'm about ready to unleash.
Daniel Bailey, 13-1. I'm sure he's a guy who's gonna come in there looking to win. 13-1, 6 knockouts from Miami. What can you tell us about him?
I don't really know too much about him, like personally, but as a fighter, I've studied about all the film that there is on him, and he's a good boxer. He's a decent boxer. Um, he hasn't really been against too much tough opposition, especially opposition at my level. But he's looked good against the guys he put him up against, and he's gonna. I know he's gonna come ready. He's gonna come in shape, and like I said, he's a decent boxer, so he'll put up a good fight.
You've had several months to reflect on your near miss. A lot of people thought you deserved better in Monte Carlo. In I guess it was November, the end of last year, when you fought Joe Cordino for the world title. To take us through the last couple months in terms of you watching the fight and your thoughts. Obviously, the fight looks different on TV than it does with the guy standing right in front of you. So what did you see that may be different from what was in the ring that night?
Like you said, the most of the world thought I had one, but even if I had one, I just still saw there's a lot of things that I needed to work on. Taking advantage of certain moments. Staying in the fight a little bit longer, letting my hands go a little bit more, being a little bit more tactical with with my strategy and my punch placement and things like that. But now I'm training out here in Las Vegas with Ismael Salas, and I'm around a lot of great fighters, a lot of great sparring partners, and Coach Salas just every day is fine tuning my game, and like I said, there was a lot of things I needed to work on, and he's definitely broke it all down for me, and we're on the road to progression, man. This will be our first fight together, and I can only expect to get you know way better from here.
We talk about obviously you're a very confident guy. I think especially the fight, even though you didn't get your hand those two fights, the fight with Ford, who's now a world champion, Cordina, who's a world champion, really kind of got you on that level of like Ishmael Salas. He only works with guys who he believes are world class ability. How's that feel to have a guy like that bring you to his camp?
Oh man, it feels great, man. It's honestly almost like a dream come true. I've always wanted this kind of training, or not so much training, but this kind of teaching. I felt like that was something that I was missing in my game. I've always been a very hard worker and very dedicated, but now that I'm every day I go into the gym, it's almost like I'm learning something new. When I first got out here, it almost felt like I knew nothing and I was doing everything wrong. And so, it feels great now to know that every day that I go into the gym is just, I'm going to constantly get better. And he always preaches that to me. We don't just come into the gym just to work out or sweat, and we don't leave until we get it right. And, that's just, it feels great to be here, man.
Speaking of Las Vegas and kind of getting your name out there a little bit, you mentioned being out in Las Vegas with Salas. Right before this, you were actually in camp with Rolando Rolly Romero as he prepared for his fight. Obviously, people and a lot of fighters probably saw, what kind of a hard work you were, both in the gym and in the ring on fight night. You probably your phones ring a little bit, maybe to help some other fighters, and being around that Las Vegas fight scene.
Oh yeah, man, and I'm very grateful for it. You know, it, I'm 17 fights in, but I still believe that this is just the beginning. And like I said, I'm back to learning. Um, back to the basics, back to fundamentals, and the sky's the limit.
I know, I think, from talking to you, in the past, especially since the Ford fight, Is that still? I mean, obviously, you want to win fights and get big fights. Is the Ford fight to run back still kind of a goal to yours?
Absolutely. I guess any of the champions, if Ford vacates at 126 and moves up to 130, then I'm still here. But I'll fight whoever. I'm the kind of guy. You can look at my resume, and then we've known each other for a while now. I'm the kind of guy where I don't really turn down anyone. I'll fight anyone. So whoever is the champion, and whoever's the top 10, top five, I'm game.
This sport has a way of I don't know, turning foes. I won't say into friends, but if I'm not mistaken, before obviously you and Ford have had a war of words. Say that one 10 times fast. Before, during, and after the fight. But you guys actually, from my understanding, may have had some pleasant exchanges, especially before his world title fight. You gave him the old good luck on Instagram, and he reached back out to you and thanked you for it. It's amazing what this sport does. I guess when you go 30 minutes in the case for you and Ford, respect builds up a little bit.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And I have a lot of respect for him. And I reached out to him, told him congratulations on the win. He showed a lot of great skills and a lot of maturity in that fight, and it was very well earned. It wasn't given to him, and he had to go to war for it, and he earned it. So I tip my hat to him, and like I told him, if he ever wants to run it back, I'm here, and that's what the fans want to see. So my job is to continue to win and get back up there to to earn a world title shot. He is the world champion, so we got to respect that, and I got to earn my way back up there, and I'm out here in Vegas for. To continue to progress, continue to win, and hopefully we'll get that shot again.
And speaking of title shots, you have done one at 126, one at 130. In a perfect world, I mean, what was that experience fighting Cordina at 130 in terms of moving up? I know it's just 4 pounds, but that's a lot. Come fighting, like you're fighting a guy who may be naturally bigger.
Man, 130 felt really good for me. The weight cut was, there wasn't really any weight cut, and it felt great. I just felt very comfortable. I felt strong. I was able to, be fully fueled up for the fight. And, I feel like 130 is, I'm working my way up there slowly but surely, and I'm comfortable there. I'm definitely comfortable.
In a perfect world, and what's the Daniel Bailey fight? What weight's that at?
It'll be at 130. It'll be at
Is that,
130. Yeah, just
is it,
because it's an 8 round fight, and it's kind of just to get our wheels back in motion, get back in the win column, try out my new training camp, and so I just feel like there's no reason to go down to 126 for an 8 round fight. That's it's just something to get the wheels back going. I'm definitely not overlooking Daniel Bailey at all. Like I said, he's a great fighter. He's a pretty good boxer, and so I'm not overlooking him at all. But I didn't see any reason to go down to 126 for this fight.
is this one of these situations where you're gonna just wait to see what maybe the best offer is? If there's a better offer at 130, that's where you go. 126, better offer there, that's where you go.
Oh
Or
yeah, play both weights, but really, what it's about is, I'm with a whole new training camp out here, and so I think it's important for me to get my feet wet here with my new training camp, without having to, go down to 126 and do a 10 or 12 round fight. So we're just doing an 8 round fight. It'll be a main event fight on DAZN, and at 130, and I think we'll be comfortable, and God willing, everything will play out well.
I know, like being in Fort Worth, you have your family and everything like that. But being out there, you wake up, it's boxing. Middle day, it's boxing. At night, I know you're a gym rat to begin with, no matter where you are at. But you're in Las Vegas. It's boxing, boxing, and more boxing. And you probably seen some world class guys that you've probably only seen on TV before walk through the doors of the gym, and 10 minutes later you're working with them. What's that like in terms of that's your true only focus when you're out there in Las Vegas?
Oh man, it's great, and it's just kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like you put yourself in like a mental prison almost, but not so much that, because I enjoy what I do and I'm learning a whole lot, and I'm enjoying it out here. But I take myself away from all the distractions, but also taking myself away from my family, my daughter back home. And back home I train a lot of clients and things like that, so I'm able to just solely focus on boxing. And sometimes, I mean, I love it, but sometimes it can get tough. It can get tough. It's a lonely road out here. Um,
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm very zeroed in. Like you said, I wake up, it's boxing. I come back home from the gym. We're studying film, and actually, one of my roommates here is one of our assistant coaches. So it's almost like 24/7. I have all eyes, or not all eyes, but I have eyes on me for my training camp, and they're making sure that I'm not skipping any steps and I'm doing everything right. We're watching film, we're talking boxing, and so yeah, it's just boxing 24/7, man. And I'm very grateful and blessed to be here. I want to give a shout out and thanks to my management, DKO Boxing. David Dubinsky and Jim Kurtz. They provided this opportunity for me to be out here and be out here for 8 weeks, and I mean it's worked wonders, and my game has already gone up levels.
What do you want to say to the fans in closing before you see you next Friday? Yeah. Oh, by the way, you're going to be in Houston, so I guess you're going back. You're going right back home to Fort Worth. I'm sure you miss home because I'm going to be in Vegas next week. So at the fight Saturday night, but I guess I won't see you there because you're going back to Fort Worth. What do you want to say to the fans in closing before we let you roll? And we'll see you next Friday night live on DAZN in Houston, Texas. Take on Daniel Bailey.
I just want to tell the fans, thank you for all the support. I made a big move in my career, leaving my hometown, and I'm still receiving lots and lots of love every day and lots of support from back home, and I really appreciate that. Also, when just tune in if you can't come out to the fight in Houston. It's going to be a great, Cinco de Mayo start to the Cinco de Mayo weekend. It's going to be a great fight, and I plan to bring an action-packed fight in the Mexican style, and we're gonna break this guy down.
Real quickly, after the Cordina fight, obviously it was a world title fight, and obviously the other high profile fight, the Ford fight was the United States. And that fight was in Monte Carlo, and Cordina is from the Great Britain and Wales. Did you get some hits on your DM? A lot of the English boxing fans hit you up on the DM and just say, hey.
Absolutely, man, and and I'm still getting messages. Actually, I got some today,
Hmm.
for guys out that way. Just wishing good luck to my fight coming up next week, and they said that they think I deserve to be back up on the world level, so they're proud to see me, back fighting as a main event on the zone, and just getting my name back out there. And they're just glad to see me back in the mix, and it feels great to know that my name is out there around the world, and it won't be too long before everyone knows who I am.
Well, you take care of business on Friday, May 3rd. I'm sure a big opportunity will be in the offing. Edward Vazquez, as always, an honor talking to you.
Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate it, man.
And I'll talk to you along the way. And